You're listening to Day 15, Playing a Part. Join us at the table for a little extra.
You know, I just put myself in the position of the father. And so here he is faced with the possibility of losing his other son, but just the steps that he took, the wisdom that he had. Number one, you know, he instructed them once it was decided they were going to go back and take the son back with them. He prayed, "May God Almighty be with you." And then he said, if I must bear the anguish, then so be it. So he prayed, he trusted God, but then he took action steps. He said, okay, you're gonna take double back. You're gonna take gifts to Joseph. There are things that you're gonna be able to, or not to Joseph, but to
the governor, yeah.
The governor, yeah. So he was using his wisdom. His heart was troubled, but he also, just by example, I think, just showed them this is what we need to do. We're going to pray about it, and I'm going to trust God.
I found it interesting later on whenever we meet the servant or the guy that's working in Joseph's household. So now he has somebody that's maintaining his household. And I think you had said it when you were reading it out loud, Angie. You said, verse 23 about your God.
The household manager said, "Your God, even the God of your fathers, must have put it there, for we collected your money all right." So, of course, the Egyptians had many, many, many gods, and the Israelites were the only faith that had the one true God. So that's some indication that the household manager maybe was beginning to believe in their one true God.
Yeah, that Joseph had an influence on him.
Right. And it kind of funny, they didn't notice that he knew their God, about their God, because they knew Joseph. They didn't realize that because they thought he was Egyptian. They didn't know he was their brother.
What do y'all think about this dinner? They got this big dinner. Joseph's got to sit separate. But he's ordered them all in their birth order. I mean, what do you think is the motive behind what he's doing here?
Well, I'm thinking about the guys themselves. In verse 18, it says they were badly frightened when they saw that they were being taken out. So all of this is being really strange to them. So they're afraid because they know their past. And then they go into this banquet hall, and he starts ordering them in their birth order at the table. They've got to be freaked out, don't you think?
I do. And it's small talk. Hey, how's your dad doing? Everything. Is he still living? Oh, yes, he's still. I mean, it was small talk to them. And they have been, their hearts have been racing and not knowing what's going to happen. And yet here, I think in the story, we just begin to see the turn of events shift just a little bit. And the healing begin to happen.
Right. When you have a trauma that's happened in your life, then the bells and whistles go off very quickly and very easily.
Just reading a little bit further, and you look at Joseph. And so the brothers are like, wow, all this small talk is going on. But it says that Joseph, he looks about, and he saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's own son, and he asked, "Is this your youngest brother, the one you told me about?" And he said, "God be gracious to you, my son." And then he was deeply moved at the sight of his brother. And I just think about just the love of our family, the love of people that we have in our hearts, and how, time won't change that, and how Joseph, moved with compassion, had to hurry out because he was going to weep and he wanted to keep it together. So he actually went out and wept outside of their presence, washed his face, and then came back in and began to serve the food. So there just was a whole lot of emotion going on. But I also really feel like there was a whole lot of healing going on that the Lord wanted Joseph to experience at that time. And that was the first step in that.
Well, I was just thinking about, realistically speaking, the story tells us that Jacob sent, they didn't have any food, so he sent all 10 of his sons with plenty of money to go buy grain. And then when they came home and they found that the money was still in their sacks, he doubled them up again with money and gifts of all kinds. So it led me to believe that they had plenty of money. Jacob was a wealthy man. He was a wealthy man, but he didn't have what he needed.